Down here for United People's TV, Manchester United have just drawn 1-1 in the Champions League to CSKA Moscow. A penalty which was saved by David De Gea was pounced upon. The rebound was pounced upon by Doumbia and he scored. And then later on in the game, Martial scored a header from an Antonio Valencia cross. Yes, an Antonio Valencia cross, but more on that in just a second. Let's talk about the penalty. Definite penalty. I think it's impossible to disagree with it. After you've seen about 17 different replays from about 30 million different angles, the maths aren't there. But you get what I mean. It's definite penalty. There's people on Twitter going, no, never a penalty. How can he give a penalty there? Take off the red tinted specs for a second and just say, yeah, it was a penalty. Martial was daft to hold his hand up there. Although, to be fair, the penalty was saved by David De Gea. Great save to the keeper's right. Unfortunately, it hit the post, hit his legs, and then it went out, and Doumbia was there. And that's the frustrating thing for me, is it was a great save, right? It was a great save. We're not arguing about that. It's the fact the defence was outrun getting into the box. You should have that same drive to stop the goal as well as Doumbia wanting to score. And it wasn't as if like he was really close to him. The defence wouldn't. To be honest, it looked like nowhere near. But it happened, and that was the goal. Once CSKA scored, they were just happy to defend, which I imagine you would be against Manchester United. You're winning 1-0. Preserve that lead. Do it. And that's what they did. They defended ridiculously well. And I know this is a Manchester United channel, and I should be talking about them, but CSKA did exactly what I'd expect United to do if we were in a tough game. You go 1-0 up, and then you defend properly. Defend the lead. That's what happened, and they did it really well, and it was frustrating to watch. They made it frustrating for Manchester United. Every time we were going up front for an attack for us, they had an answer to it. They had someone in defence ready. It felt like at times as well, they had an extra man. Absolutely ridiculous. And Akinfeev, the goalkeeper for Moscow, was again brilliant. He wasn't really tested that much in the first half, but when he was called upon, he's quite good. He is quite good. But speaking of quite good goalkeepers, no. Absolutely excellent goalkeepers. David De Gea, of course, the penalty save. But not just that. The man is like a cat. He just leaps. He just gets there. He covers the space. You're comfortable. You're comfortable when David De Gea is in goal. And he proved why United fans were over the moon that we kept him in the summer. He kept us in that game at times. An unbelievable save from a long-range shot was going in the top corner, and I would call it a perfect David De Gea save. It's just what you expect him to make, and he made it, and it was just fantastic. Let's talk about then Manchester United. Obviously, the goal came from Martial, from an Antonio Valencia cross. One more time, from an Antonio Valencia cross onto Martial's head. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. Great goal from Martial, and that's what happens when you get a striker, forget I said that, a striker who is hungry and wants goals in the box. He will score. If only Mr. Rooney had that kind of drive and determination when he gets up front. It's frustrating now, I think, to watch Wayne Rooney. Everybody seems to agree on Twitter. Everything's Wayne Rooney's fault. Something didn't happen on a TV show you like, blame Wayne Rooney. It's his fault. It's probably going to be his fault. But yeah, let's the football today. It was again frustrating to watch him up front on his own. I don't think he's capable. No, I'll change that. I do think he's capable, but I don't think he's been tested by the team. Personally, I'd love to see him dropped. I've said it. I'd love to see him dropped, but only for one game, just to prove that he's not untouchable. Because I think fans as well are looking at Wayne Rooney and thinking that captain's armband is giving him this force shield, which is stopping him from being dropped. He could have the worst game. He could score 6 own goals and he would still start the next game because he's the captain. And that's what it feels like. I think if he gets dropped, we start Martial. We bring that hunger back from Wayne Rooney. The hunger which, there was a documentary about him on telly and you saw highlights from his career when he was younger. That Wayne Rooney we want, that hunger, that desire to score goals is what we want. And I think that's why United fans are getting frustrated, is because that's what we've had. We had that with Wayne Rooney, and it's not like that anymore. And I think that is why people are going, Wayne Rooney's the reason why United are terrible at the minute. Wayne Rooney's fault for this, fault for that. And that's why. It's because we got spoilt with probably the best years of his career when he first signed for Man United, and now he's holding back a bit, and it feels like that, and he's underconfident. He doesn't drive up to the box and take a shot. He'll turn around and pass it backwards or pass it to the side. And that's not what we want. We want somebody like Martial, who played on the left today, and I'm not happy with that. I think he should be playing up front. If that means Rooney's behind him, that's fine. But a striker like Martial, who is very confident in himself, and you can see that he's confident in himself, he's not scared to take a shot. The complete opposite of what it looks like Wayne Rooney is. Start Martial up front. We've got City, obviously, coming up on Sunday. I would rather see Martial up front against City than Wayne Rooney in the current form, without a shadow of a doubt at all. Let's make that happen. I asked on the Twitter for your opinion, and opinions you gave me. Harvey said, look what happens when a decent informed striker turns up in the box. There we go. Exactly pretty much what I just said. Jack Sheehan said, Martial out the wing is mental. Zero creativity in this team. So frustrating to watch. Get Martial in the centre. Anyway, can I swear? Don't know. There it is. I apologise if you've got sensitive ears. We had another tweet from Cry. He said, United should have won. Great point, though. Michael Owen is shit with commentary. I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to argue with these points. Because that was very valid. Andrew said, a point is better than nothing. Martial made up for his early mistake and played quite well. Rooney, non-existent once again. Hash has said, slow but difficult to find space and utilise pace in a very packed area due to CSKA sitting back, but it's a good point overall. And Kieran has said, I'm going to finish on this one. Kieran has said, it's perfectly set up for the derby. Good points away without using much energy, whilst Man City have been flat out in a must-win game for them. If you agree with the points that either I've said or the guys on Twitter, why don't you tweet us at United People's TV or subscribe to us on YouTube for more videos like this, and find the play ratings video as well, because that is another video I'm going to be doing in a second.